Hi creatives, you're welcome to today's tutorial. I am Peace Okoli, the creative director of Daisy Creations. Today I will be teaching how to cut and sew V-shaped turban. Okay, alright. The measurement we'll be making use of is 15 inches by 5 inches. Please make sure that whenever you're measuring or you're marking on the wrong side, so that your chalk doesn't dirty your work. Okay, you make sure you mark on the wrong side, so that whatever you're marking on the wrong side does not affect the right side of your work, so that you have a neater work. So we measure at 15 inches by 5 inches in two places. This is what we'll be using to form our V. The next thing now is the body of the turban. The body of the turban is your head circumference by 12. Head circumference is 23 inches and I added half an inch. That gives me 23.5 inches. So your head circumference plus your seam allowance, which is about half inch to 1 inch, okay, by 12. Okay, so to form our V, you fold each of them into two with the wrong side facing each other. You fold it into two with the wrong side facing each other. This is the wrong side, the inside is the wrong side, while here is the right side. So the wrong side facing each other, you fold it into two with the wrong side facing each other. The next step now is to mark 2 inches. Mark 2 inches from here, and you see that you mark 2 inches from here to here. You mark 2 inches, you mark it again, you mark it on this other side, the second one, you mark it. So if you have a ruler, you can use it to trace it to this end. Okay, so when you trace it, you cut it out. This will help your V to relax when you sew it. It will just to remove is a way of removing the excess, and then to help you the V that will be formed to be relaxed. Okay, so when you do this, you see, you remove the fabric. Look at what you have. So here is like this, here is this way. So just watch what I'll be doing. When you do it, you do it this way, you turn it this way, with this side now facing this way and this side facing this way. You take this one, make sure the edges are together. Okay, make sure the edges are together. You take this one, this tip here, the tip here, let it be in the same line with the other tip. Use your office pin and hold it down. Where you do the same here, so you can hold this place here down too. Why you do that is, if you are sewing with a sewing machine and as a beginner you are not careful, you may not get all these things, all these edges sewn. Okay, so you hold it so that it will help you guard your sewing. You do the same for this one here, do the same for this one here. You use your needle, your office pin, and hold it in place. So once you do this, you see our V is already formed. So once you do this, we take it to a sewing machine. You sew it all the way down to this end. Okay, the place you're sewing is the place that is open, remember. Okay, so you sew it from this end to this end. So once you determine this, you cut out this rectangular shape, which is about 23 inches, or your head circumference plus 1.5 inch by 12. You bring your band you must have sewn it from here to here. Okay, you bring your band and you fold it into two. You fold it into two. You come here and you notch. You notch. This tells you that here is the middle of what you're working with. Okay, so you also take this, fold it into two. Fold it into two. And notch. This is very important because if you don't do that, you may make mistake and your V may not be at the center. Okay, so once you notch, here is the midpoint. Okay, you bring this and face it this way. Okay, with the midpoint being in the same line with the midpoint of the body. Okay, you're doing this when you must have sewn the band. Okay, so when you do that, you attach it with an office pin. This is the midpoint. You attach it, hold it in place. Okay, you use your office pin to hold it together. Why am I doing all this? You do it as a beginner so that, I've said it before, so that you don't make mistake with your work. Okay, so you hold it this way. Go to your sewing machine and sew it. See what I just did? I've already, let's assume that I've sewn it. So you go to your sewing machine and sew it. Once you have finished holding it in place, you go to make your work more easier for you and faster too. You go to your sewing machine and carefully sew it down from this end down to this end, down to this end. Okay, welcome back. We are done sewing our band to the body. Okay, so when you look at it, you see the band has been sewn. This is our V. This is our V. This is it. Okay, the band has been sewn to the body of the turban. So quickly we'll be going to our sewing machine back. Remember, here is the right side. Here is the right side, while here is the wrong side. So you'll be folding it this way, with the right side facing each other. With the right side facing each other. Then we'll go back to our sewing machine and we'll sew from here. We'll sew from here down to this place. But before that, I would like to teach you something. Sewing it this way is not wrong, okay? But there is a technique that will make your work a little easier for you, and that is, when you sew it this way, it's not wrong. You can still get the same result. But for you to get something more better, when you run your stitches here for the gathers that will be formed at the back, here there will be much clothes, or there will be excess clothes that will be bulky at the back. So for you to avoid that, you mark from here. Watch what I'm doing. This is the V. You mark from here. You make sure here these lines are on the same page. You mark, you start from here and you curve it. you curve it from here just a little bit, like about 1.5 inches here. Watch what I did. You mark it, you mark just about half an inch, just to reduce the excess clothes that you have at the back. Just about half an inch. When you reach here, you curve it. You make this place to be curvy. Okay? When you mark it, you trim it off. You trim off this place before you go to sew. Okay? Actually, this is not a normal scissors. This is called a zigzag scissors. What it does is just to give it a shape. With these scissors, I don't need now to go and trim, to go and weave this work, because this zigzag scissors does a lot of work. It is used for designing, it is used for trimming. With these zigzag scissors, I don't need to weave this work again. Okay? I don't need to weave it again. It will make it more neater. Each cutting makes your work neater. Okay? Okay, the next step is to go to our sewing machine and sew from this end down to the other end, and then I will return back to show us the next step. We are done sewing it round using our sewing machine. Okay, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can use your needle and thread and run stitches. You know how you sew with your needle and thread now? You make it straight and neat, but if you are doing it as a business, it's always advisable to use a sewing machine in order to make your work neat, because when you make something neat, people will buy from you. Okay? So we are done sewing, doing this on a sewing machine. We are done sewing it round from here to here. So the next step now is to make use of our needle and thread. I've already fixed it, a thread that is the same color with the material you're working with, so that we are going to be making a running stitch from here immediately after the band area. This is where the band stops. This is where the band stops. Okay, so immediately after the band, we are going to be making a running stitch down to this place. Immediately, so running stitch of about 1 inch each. So watch closely to see what I'm doing. You bring out your needle here, you put it back, you run it on the thread you have sewn, you put it back. This is what I mean by running stitch. You put it this way, you put it this way, you put it this way, and that, and that. You continue that way to the end of where you have sewn. So watch and see what I'm doing. I'm taking my time doing this so that you understand it. Okay, I've come to the end of where I've sewn, so I'm going to be bringing it out. you draw it, you draw your thread. When you draw it, you secure it. You draw it to form these gathers, then you secure it. You cut off your thread and tighten it and secure it again. And that is it. Okay, you see it, and that is it. So what you do is to turn it up to the right side, and your turban cap is ready. So here our turban, V-shaped turban is ready. It's ready. So you can wear it this way. You can as well embellish it and make it more classy and more beautiful. Okay, so thank you very much for watching.